Hello, my name's Megan, just in case you don't know me already, and I'm back with part 4 of my collection series. So just in case you missed it, I have already done my setting spray collection and my primer collection, and I've also done my foundation collection, and today's video is going to be my concealer collection. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. I love it if you hit that subscribe button. And yeah, let's just get into the concealer collection. So I think I'm going to start off with these palettes. So I've got the Revolution Ultra Cover and Conceal palette, and this is in the shade Light. And I'll open this up. So that's what that looks like. It's just a bunch of concealers in a pot. As you can see, I've not really got much use out of that. I've like literally only swatched the lightest shade. I should probably give this a go because I think I'd actually quite like it. And the next Makeup Revolution one that I've got is the Ultra Base Corrector, and this is just like got all the different colours in it. It's actually broken. It comes like this, kind of comes off, and that's what that one looks like. So it has a bunch of different correctors in. As you can see, I've hit pan on the green one, and that's probably my favourite one to use. It hasn't got like the absolute best corrector like coverage on it, but I do feel like it really does help underneath my makeup when I've got this on. If I've got like some redness and some blemishes, I feel like it really helps to cancel out the redness. And then I quite like this one to put on the top of my cheekbones. I feel like it looks quite nice underneath my foundation, and if I'm honest, I don't really use any of the others because I don't know, I just like the green one and I like this one. And I know these are like for your under eyes, but I used to use them, but I don't really use them anymore. Maybe I should give them another go, I don't know. So now I'm going to move into these concealers. So starting off with probably my least favourite concealer in my collection. This is the Rimmel Lasting Radiance one. I absolutely love Rimmel foundations and other Rimmel products, but I really don't like the Radiance range. Like, this just goes on like really orange, and it's like back in the day when I used to put concealer on and then over the course of the day it would actually get oranger and oranger and oranger to the point where your under eyes were like orange, not concealed, and they were darker than your foundation. Well, this reminds me of those days. I don't know if anybody else has days like that as well, where you just used to put concealer on under your eyes and conceal some blemishes, and then throughout the course of the day just went orange. I don't like it, not gonna lie, I don't like it. Next I've got the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer, and I have this in the shade Medium. It's light medium. Absolutely love this concealer. I love it so much. It is really thick. I don't use it under my eyes like you're supposed to though. I actually use this on my blemishes and on my spots. So when I put my concealer on under my eyes, I put a different one on under my eyes, and if I'm doing some like cream bronzer with concealer, I'll put that on, and then right before I blend that out, I'll put this on the blemishes, and then I'll blend out all the other concealers on. And then after I've done all that, after I've blended out my under eyes and my chin and my forehead, then I will blend this in and I just tap it into the skin, and this covers like those spots that will not be covered. This stuff, this covers it. It's so good. That's why I've got it in light medium, because it works really well next to my foundation. It's not lightening. Absolutely could not recommend this concealer enough, and every time I use it I only use a tiny bit, so it lasts such a long time. But I've never found a more high coverage concealer for my blemishes than this stuff. Next I've got the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and this is in the shade Swan. This is absolutely by far my favourite concealer ever. This is such a good concealer. Like, you could take away all the other concealers and I would just be happy with this one concealer. It's just so good. It's got such full coverage. You have a lot of product in it. It's got a nice doe fur. The packaging's really nice. It conceals really, really well, and I absolutely could not recommend this enough. Which is why I actually have a backup of it, and this is in the shade Marshmallow. I have the shade Marshmallow because it was the lightest one that they did at the place where I bought it from the outlets, but this just has such high coverage and I absolutely love it. Swan would be my favourite shade, but this works really, really well for me. I don't know, I really like a bright under eye, so this works really, really well for me, but Swan is just really, really brightening. And this was like the only concealer that I'd say I'd used for like probably a whole year maybe, but it is actually got a 24-month thing on it. When it's opened, it needs to be used within 24 months, and I think it would last you 24 months easily. It's just so good. Next, I've got an e.l.f. one. This is the Camo Concealer. This isn't the hydrating one. And then I've got this one to do some cream bronzer with it. Really love the shade for cream bronzer. It's in the shade Tan Walnut. It is a lighter shade than what I would normally bronze with, but I actually quite like that because you can build it up. But this Camo one does dry pretty quickly, so I feel like you do have to do like one swipe, blend it in, one swipe, blend it in, that kind of thing. Otherwise it's a little bit tricky to blend. I certainly wouldn't buy this one in the under eye shade for me because I feel like it'd be way too drying. Which is why I have the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer for under my eyes, and I absolutely love this. I bought this on the Superdrug buy one get one free sale, and I would definitely repurchase this full price. This is in the shade Fur Beige, and I absolutely love this concealer. Has a big doe fur. You can see that I really like it. I'm kind of running short on it, but I will absolutely repurchase this. Even though I have all these other concealers, I will still repurchase this one because I absolutely love it. Next, I've got, if I can grab them, I've got two from W7. So these actually came in an advent calendar, and yeah, do you know what? It doesn't say which one was the foundation and which one was the concealer, so I have no idea which one it is. I don't really agree with putting these kind of products in advent calendars because, like, obviously the shade is not going to work for me, but I'll perhaps use it in a testing W7 video, maybe, something like that, if that's something that you wanted to see. But I honestly have no idea which one was the foundation and which one was the concealer, so yeah, I haven't actually used these. Next, I've got the Revolution Conceal and Define. Really like this concealer. I find it really good coverage. I feel like it has a really nice finish on my skin. I have the Sincere one, really brightening. The only thing I'd say is that I feel like I used it like 5 times and it was already running out, so I'd definitely go for a bigger one. But now I know that I like it, I will definitely go for a bigger one. I'm just trying to use it up because I have got the Conceal and Hydrate one with hyaluronic acid in it that I really want to try. Haven't used it yet because I still have the other one open, so I'm going to use the other one first and then I'm going to dip into this. And I have the shade CO3. I think I bought this shade because it was in the sale, I'm not going to lie, so hopefully it works for me. Next, I've got the L'Oreal Infallible Modeling Concealer. And I have this in the shade, is it going to give me a shade? What shade are you in? Yeah, it does at the top. 320 Porcelain. I've used this quite a few times and I really like it. It's a little bit more expensive than my other drugstore concealers, but I really like this. It gives really, really good coverage. This shade is actually quite light, so it is quite brightening, but I quite like it. This is a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, so if you've always wanted to try that, then maybe you could give this one a go. I don't know if it is a very good dupe, but I really like the concealer, and when I did buy the Tarte Shape Tape, I actually bought it in the wrong shade, but for some reason Tarte actually refunded me because I bought it in the wrong shade. I don't know if they sent the wrong shade or if I pressed the wrong shade or something, but they did actually refund me. Next I've got a Makeup Gallery one, and this is like a concealer stick. Really don't like this concealer at all. Like, there's a couple of things that I would maybe use if I absolutely had to from the pound shop, but this certainly isn't one of them. Who wants natural coverage concealer? Like, I mean, I don't, but if you do, then that's amazing, but I much rather have a high coverage concealer, and this is advertised as a natural coverage concealer, so yeah, it's not for me. It's really not for me, but it is only £1, so. Next I've got another little palette. This is by Ariana Poulet. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. And I think this is the light one. I'm not sure. I think it's the light one. And then you open it up, and that is what it looks like. It has 3 different shades, so this one I can use under my eyes, and then this one is good for like a contour shade or light contour shade. I do quite like this palette. I've reached for it like a few times. It's not something that I would like actually pick up, but my grandma actually gave it to me, so that's why I still have it in my collection. But I've used it a handful of times maybe, but I just have so many concealers that I don't reach for this because it tends to be right at the bottom. But it's the only thing from Ariana Poulet that I have. Next I've got one of my absolute favourite concealers. This is by Collection. It's the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, and this is in the shade 2 Plus, and this is really light. This is probably, yeah, this is definitely my lightest shade of concealer, but I absolutely love this concealer. It's got such good coverage. It's really brightening. Everything you want in a concealer is this. It's lightweight under the eyes, looks really nice, and I just absolutely love this concealer so much. And yeah, I highly recommend it. Next I've got the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. As you can see, I absolutely love this stuff and I've used so much of it. The only thing that I don't like is the packaging, and the packaging is pretty awful, and it gets pretty minging very quickly, and I'm always cleaning it. This is one of those products where it would be so much better in different packaging, and I have this feeling about a lot of makeup. I feel like it would be so much better in different packaging, and this is one of them. If this had a doe-foot, then I feel like I would reach for it so much more. I just feel like it's not hygienic. Like, if you want to put it on your blemishes, on your spots, then surely it's just going to spread everything. Like, I don't know, I love the concealer and I love the coverage, but I don't love the packaging. Next I've got the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This has really high coverage, as I spoke about before. It's exactly the same as the other ones, it's just in a deeper shade because I use this to cream contour, and this is in the shade Butterscotch, and it's quite a nice warm shade for me, whereas the other one's a bit more cool tone than I use to cream contour, so I use this to like cream bronze a lot more. You only need a tiny bit, but it blends so well and I really love it. I bought a mini one because I don't need it. I don't need a big one, I don't think, of this one. So yeah, I really like it. And finally I have these two by MAC. These are the Match Master, yeah, these are the Match Master concealer sticks. These are like my favourite concealer sticks. These work really well for blemishes and putting on spots. I really like them for that. I don't use them that much under my eyes, but I do really like them, and I have two because they were on offer. I didn't buy one because of a backup. They were actually on offer, and I thought I'd get the MAC foundation and two concealers because they were on offer. So yeah, I really like them. I'm pretty sure I've used one of them up. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty much used up, but I do get a brush in there and, you know, make sure I get every last drop of my MAC products. So yeah, I really like those ones. Would I repurchase them? I'm not sure, you know. They're the best stick ones that I've come across, but then again, I haven't tried that many stick ones before, so I'm not sure if I'd repurchase, I'm not gonna lie. So now I'm gonna tell you my top 5 concealers. Starting off with number 5 is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser. Love this concealer, but it's the packaging that lets it down. It would probably rank higher if the packaging was better, but sadly it's not. But I do really like it. Number 4 would be my L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer. Really like this. The doe is really big, offers really good coverage. It is a little bit pricier than some of the others in my collection, but I really like this and I reach for this quite a lot. Next is my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Concealer. This is amazing. It lasts so long because I only use it on my blemishes and I absolutely love it. This just covers so much, and I love to just put it on my blemishes right after my foundation and then sort out my other concealer under my eyes and everywhere else, and then I go back and like tap it in to my face and it just hides it. I don't know. It's just so good, and you can use it on top of powder as well. I find it works really nice on top of powder as well, so you can touch up throughout the day with this. And yeah, that's why it's at number 3. Number 2 is my Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, and this is in the shade 2 Porcelain. Absolutely love this concealer. It feels like you don't have anything on your face. It just makes my skin look really nice and bright, and I look really awake with it, and I really like the finish of it, and yeah, I highly recommend this. And finally, my absolute favourite concealer is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This just has super full coverage, it's quite lightweight, it's not dead thick, packaging's really nice, has a great amount of product in it for the price. I know it's pricey, I know Too Faced products are pricey, but you do get a lot for your money with this. So whereas you'd buy quite a few concealers and backups and things, you're not going to do that with this particular concealer because it's going to last such a long time. I love everything about this and I will continue to repurchase this. And then here are just some sponges that I just keep there because there's nowhere else to put them. But yeah, that's my concealer collection all done. Let me know in the comments down below, do I have any of your favourites? Are there some concealers that you think I should try out that I don't have in my collection? One that I do want to try is the Revolution Infinite Concealer. Really want to give that one a go as well. But yeah, I'd love to hear your recommendations. Do I have one of your favourites? And if you did enjoy seeing my concealer collection, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up so I know to do my next draw, which will be powders and bronzers. And if you're not already subscribed, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!